I remember my dad saying, Michael, aren't you too old to be playing with ants and bugs? I said, no! They understand now, but the world needs more curious minds to study ants and nature. Just to think, I made 3 scientific discoveries just in my backyard. Here in the Philippines, we have one of the biggest biodiversity in ants, in all species, but ants, not enough people are looking and, entering the field. I would often find various ants around just here in the yard, and one of such ants was one I didn't recognize. So I collected a few and sent it to my myrmecologist friend, Dr. David General from UPLB, and he told me that it was a species called Meranoplus bicolor, and it was the first geographical record of it being in the Philippines. So what that means is they've known that it's lived in surrounding countries, in other countries other than Philippines, but this was the first time that it was recorded and reported here in the Philippines. So I had made a novel geographic record for that species. I went on to make 2 more. One was an ant from the genus Dilobocondila, and they didn't know that it existed in Luzon, but after I gave them a specimen, it actually is here. And then the third one was one ant belonging to the genus Chromatogaster, but we had never seen it before. So Dr. General had to go through all the records, first checking Southeast Asia, then checking records of Borneo, because that's a very big catalog of ants, and then checking all of Asia. And so far, it still looks nothing like what we've seen. I have the Ecosystem Vivarium series running on the channel, where I've created an ecosystem of various animals, and I'm filming the ants in context of the world around them. Because it's one thing to have an ant in just an ant farm, but to really understand them, you have to see how they interact with different species of animals and plants and with other species of ants. And I've already been able to film amazing footage that I never was able to film before in my ant farms, just because it's an ecosystem vivarium. Ant keeping isn't as hard as it seems. I think sometimes when they watch the AntsCanada channel, they get intimidated right away because it's very hardcore ant keeping, but it can be very simple. And there are in fact queen ants that you can find in the city. Not as much as if you're in the province, syempre, but you have the best of luck in a place where there's lots of trees, lots of bushes and natural habitat. There's a lot of info online about how to get started. Again, it doesn't have to be very complicated. It just requires those 2 living areas, the nest and the outworld. In some ant farms, like the ant tower that we sell at AntsCanada.com, it's an outworld and a nest all in one. So it's very easy.
Welcome to the AntsCanada Ant Channel.
The AC family, my subscribers, in fact, my subscribers from any of my channels are my main inspiration, other than whatever it is on that channel the theme of that channel. Besides that, I'm also inspired by the following. I see their comments and it inspires me to continue to, entertain them, educate them, and that really keeps me going. To be a creator, you need to have a sharing spirit. And I've always loved to share all the things I find very cool in life.
What happened was, AC family, this is what I saw.
It's really in my blood now to create YouTube videos.